Well, we're live.
And we're live. Hey, hi everyone. Woo!
Woo!
Welcome to tonight's episode of Oodvin, episode 39. We're so happy to have you with us. Let's start off how we start off every episode with some introductions. So hello, my name is Maxwell Williams. I am the DM for this session, and I play a whole bunch of fun and interesting characters, including one very powerful and intrigued goddess by the name of Lunaris.
Hi everybody, my name is Sam Rinaldi and I play Winnie Winslow, the Twilight Cleric, who is very afraid right now.
Hi, I'm Connor McGinley, and I'm very sniffly, but I play a character called Lily Pembroke, and she's normally stabby, classic stabbiness, but she's excited that she finally gets to learn some secrets today.
Oh, that College of Swords bard on the ground? Yeah, that's me. I'm Dame Brancato, and you're probably wondering how I got in this mess. Well, I play Zephyr Windstrider, and he's not in a good situation right now.
How am I supposed to follow that? Like,
Yeah,
I don't have anything fun
that's a session.
planned.
Good night, guys.
Hi, my name is Julie Risto, and I play Octavia Lagazur, the half-orc swashbuckling rogue. And she is in a place where she's technically not supposed to be, so I'm gonna really try not to die.
Hello, my name is Aaron Borden. I play the character of Februm Cask, the Simic hybrid blood hunter, and he is eager as always to gain some more knowledge.
Drew Borden. I play Alfred. What? Huh?
Alfred.
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 Alfred!
Oh,
Alfred!
Aldrich Bernask. He's an artificer and kind of a paladin. And I'm locked in a room with a dragon and two other people, but I also have a dragon killing artifact.
I forgot
called
about that.
Oh.
The spice. The
Huh.
spice.
Huh.
So it looks like one of us is in an advantageous position right now.
Maybe.
Just one.
Okay, so let's do a quick little recap. God, where do I start? So our party has completed their second week of classes in this second quarter, with other students, festivities all happening at the same time. The party coming out of a very emotional conversation where secrets were shared, truths were told, and possibly a little trust was gained, have decided to have made their way into the next weekend. After sending a couple messages to Drax, trying to feel out what was going on, and discovering a secret bit of writing left to Zephyr by his sister Sai in a whole bunch of gold, the party makes their way down to the main chapel area, the entrance hall, if you will, of Ravensight Academy, in preparation for the arrival of someone who has only been described as Her Lustrous Majesty. It doesn't take too long before a shining beam of colorful light enters through the top of the tower of Ravensight Academy and teleports in three figures. One tall, feminine figure with rose gold hair, just shining this light pale essence. Lunaris, or at least a avatar of her existence, stands before the party and before these students, flanked by two bodyguards, one individual with large wings and the other individual dressed in some more studious robes with bits of starlight that seem to speckle across their skin and their clothing. After the party looked behind them and detected someone watching them, Februm and Lily decided to chase after this individual, following them down the hallway, and after a little bit of shenanigans, figured out that Drax has finally returned to Ravensight Academy and has news to share. Deciding that the whole party should probably hear this, Drax teleports or attempts to teleport the rest of the party to his location, but with a successful save, Winnie and Axel seem to both be left in the entrance hall with Lunaris and her bodyguards. Before they have much time to react, they draw Lunaris' attention, who makes her way over to them, beckoning them to join her for a nice stroll out by the lake. With little option left, they begin to head towards a portal as Octavia and Zephyr now run from the room that Drax had teleported them to try to intervene, intercept, do something to get these two away from their aunt, ? Making into the room just a second too late, Zephyr yells out and then levitates over, taking a massive blow to the face by one of these bodyguards, but does leave open enough opportunity for Octavia to slip through relatively undetected. The only one that seems to notice being the mage figure that, might have left the gate open just a second too long. So, God, where do we start? And so that's where we pick up.
Max's inner turmoil the entire time leading up to this is, I don't know where to begin. It's all good. Do you want us to roll? Like we can
Initiative.
Let's roll initiative.
Sure, we'll need to.
Okay, let's start with. Okay, I know how this one's gonna go, so let's do this. Zephyr, you are. You are now here, crumpled on the floor, with these two bodyguards. One more mage-like, but one with these lustrous wings and a huge greatsword in one hand, is towering over you. The rest of the school is kind of looking at each other in awe. There are a lot of people don't quite know what to feel or understand, knowing you as a relatively prominent figure in Ravenside.
Oh, yeah, I got some homies.
But no one daring to come to your aid or to intervene in this fact of this angelic figure standing over top of you.
So, real quick, and this is how I've envisioned it, correct me if I'm wrong, but when I got swatted out of the sky last session, did he just hit me with like the blunt end of his greatsword like a big fly swatter?
Oh no, you got hit. This was...
Oh, okay.
They did not pull punches. You've got, like, you probably pulled yourself out of the way at the last moment, but there's still a pretty substantial gash across your chest and kind of starting at your shoulder.
Funny, but...
yeah, I mean, you're below half your hit points, correct?
Yeah.
So, you're bleeding.
So Zephyr kind of, like, spits out some blood, and he starts kind of muttering under his breath, and he gets a little bit louder. He's still kind of like hunched over, but he manages to go from like lying down to like on his hands and knees, and he just raises his voice and goes, "Open the gate." And he waits for a response before continuing.
The winged figure gives you a slight chuckle. He's got this like dark, gruff voice, but you can't help but feel it shimmer as it enters your brain. No. We will not be doing that.
And like he starts like clenching his fists and kind of like shaking a little bit.
He like leans, he like comes down to your eye level. The sword kind of sticking into the ground, like effortlessly just melting into the stonework in the ground.
You don't understand. This is the second time. This is the second time that she was right in front of me, and I couldn't reach her. I don't know what Lunaris has planned for her. I don't care. But the goddesses, Blasden, I don't care if it's the whole
You
damn world.
suddenly lose the ability to speak.
Fuck, I had this whole monologue. God damn it.
Oh no.
Words, you're trying to formulate words, but you watch as this mage figure has scrawled out runes in the air, and the area around you is silent.
Do I have any...
It's because you said the B word.
Yeah.
I said the B word?
You said Blasden.
yeah.
Nobody else
Right.
is supposed to
Shit
know.
about Blasden.
You did this to yourself.
God damn it.
The
Gift of gab.
Yeah.
Do I have it?
the
Oh.
winged figure quickly picks you up underneath your arm with very little effort, like hoisting you off the ground, and begins to make their way through the crowd, just pulling you along with him.
I can't wiggle out of this, can I?
You can try.
What is that? I probably can't but I'm gonna try.
Acrobatics or athletics.
Alright. 15.
Okay, I gotta pull up sheets. Okay, 15.
You like it?
That's
That's weird. This guy has a plus 15.
no. He's only got a plus
No, it's just a plus
7 to
10.
strength.
Just a +7.
Just the plus.
Just half.
That's
just
gonna be a
strength.
23.
Damn it.
As you just feel his hand grip around your bicep. He keeps pulling you off to the side. As soon as you exit the silence, that you will not speak another word or you shall lose your head. Do I make myself clear?
I can find it.
Damn it.
As you exit the silence, you can hear there's murmuring and stuff behind. Make a perception check, actually.
He wouldn't have said it. I do want to clarify that he wouldn't have shouted that out loud.
Mm-hmm. Well, it started with, because the people were only probably 5 or 10 feet away from you. There was definitely a
Okay.
circle, but it starts there, and you hear this kind of people talking. But make a perception check in this moment.
Nat 20.
Oh.
That would have been helpful, the last roll.
As you exit the silence, you hear murmuring for a second, but then there is this moment of silence, and then the chatter continued as if nothing happened. As you kind of duck around a corner with these two figures. And they keep pulling you down a hallway.
I doubt this is gonna work. But I'm... Hold on, I gotta check something. Yeah, it's a one word. I'm gonna try and cast command on the angel figure. And the command is just gonna be listen.
Alright.
I doubt
What kind of
it's
save
gonna
is
work.
that? A wisdom save?
Yeah. I doubt it's gonna work, but Zephyr's gotta try.
27.
Yeah, no?
It's close.
It's close.
It's close by 13.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
What would he do? Oh god. As you begin to you cast this spell. It requires verbal and somatic components, right?
It just verbal.
Okay. You feel his hand, which is at least the size of your head, just wrap around your throat. So he's got one hand on your bicep, the other around your throat, and you are struggling to breathe as he continues to bring you down this hallway. They kind of look back and forth, and the angelic figure turns to the mage. And, Urdusk, find us a place to have a conversation.
Okay.
The mage figure kind of looks around, looks over his shoulder, walks up to a doorway that seems to be close, and draws runic scripts around it, and opens up this doorway into an extra-dimensional space.
Take it.
That just seems to have, like, a chair in the center. As you are thrown in, these two figures walk in behind you, and the door slams. Fuck, that's too good of a point to switch to somebody else. Okay. Februm, Al, and Lily. You were all in the room with Drax. You watched Octavia and Zephyr run out of the room, trying to sprint after Winnie and Axel. So many names. But Drax is like, oh, I think I'll just, like, pull up a chair. I mean, I think we might be here for a while. But I'm not sure. Like, depends on how in depth we really want to get into this moment. I mean, time is quite limited, to be perfectly honest.
So let's not waste it.
Okay.
Let's get going.
Go.
Where to start? Why don't you ask me? Let's start with a frame of reference. What do you know about Blazidon and why the adventuring schools exist?
Well, apparently they killed all of the fiendish people, and Blazidon got very upset about that. And then he made everyone here sick. And we're still dealing with the fallout of that.
Yes. In a way.
Did that not happen?
Oh, yeah, I'm not. That happened, but like, there's a little more intricacy behind it. He like takes a second, composes himself. Max pulls up his notes.
He has a notebook. He's like, okay, points to discuss with students.
So, I need better music than this. Fuck this.
I was about to say.
Put on battle music, just a bop.
I probably should just put on battle music, shouldn't I?
I mean, you don't have to, but like,
This is
for the
too...
vibes.
Oh no, this whole...
Maybe we should have rolled initiative.
Maybe. Oh god. You watch Aophik raise his hand up, and it takes on... I say Aophik now, but takes on Drax. His hand begins to take on a draconic configuration. All of the dark elvish skin fades away for purple scales and shining crystal. His fingers extend into claws that begin to swirl with magic as he creates this visionscape around you. Now, I've talked with Offenzia, and know you do know much of the overarching idea. It's true. In our foolishness, I cannot be left out of this. it was decided that the world would be a better place without the fiends. That most people were better off. Led by myself and the Celestials, mainly Lunaris. It was decided that the eradication of the Archfiends was a necessity for forward progress in modern civilization. So that's exactly what we did. One by one, we eliminated them, sending in troops from both of our planes, our own divine powers. We massacred an entire civilization. Now, I wasn't aware completely at the time, but Blazidin, who if you have heard, had a forbidden connection of sorts. There was a prophecy in the old time that the son of a Celestial and a Fiend would be the one to change or destroy the world.
Lily, like, looks around to the group, like, doing the Zephyr thing. Like...
And for many years it was outlawed, but Blazidin, being the all-righteous individual that he is, decided to ignore this law. Now, I can't speak on their relationship. I, unfortunately, was not informed enough. But once Blazidin's lover fell, that's when his madness began. With no fiends to claim the shard, Blazidin decided to take it for his own. No individual is supposed to hold a shard by themselves. It's too much power. That's why they're split. They're shared. There's checks. If one individual comes too far out of bounds, they can be reined in by the others. As Blazidin held the only shard, he had an undescribable amount of power at the time. More than any of the other deities, and he made sure to use it. Targeting the mortal plane, but without the precision that he once held. It flooded over, destroyed everything else, and created what we now know as the Devouring. This is when the schools pick up. With the dragons and our legendary essence being the only thing that can stave the Devouring off, we created our bastions, we created our cities, took our thrones of power and made them refugee camps, for lack of a better term. And we consorted with our oracles. We consorted with those that could see the future, could see into other possibilities, and came to the same conclusion. Only a mortal would be the one to take power from Blazidin. There's no way the rest of us Divines could stand up. We tried at first to fight back, to have some sort of effect. That's how we lost the Mechanized. They were the first to stand up, the first to try to put things back in order as it would. They fell quickly. So, we dedicated ourselves to training the next generations, promising that no matter how long it took, we would keep trying. But as you well know, centuries have passed, probably more than you're even aware of. And the longer the time went, the harder it became for, and I'm sure you've met this individual, Duskradil, to hold back Blazden with her own power. He kind of takes a second and he begins to look ashamed. We were already throwing away so many lives, trying to get people to confront Blazden, to send them into his realm. That we knew we needed more time. It became common practice that those individuals that passed the program but didn't show promise were given a choice. Their minds could be wiped. They could return to regular civilization, free to live their lives in relative peace and whatever means they had. Or they could contribute their energy to Duskradil, give their life essence to her. And for a while that worked. I don't want to even think. He starts, tearing up. I don't want to think about the amount of lives that have been thrown at that ember. We thought it was working. Up until recently. But as you are well aware, Duskradil has fallen to her own corruption. Not completely yet, but it's an inevitability at this point in time. This world will end one way or another. But lucky for you, you're my pick.
So, what happens to people that do graduate? You just send them to fight Blazden and they die?
We haven't sent graduates to fight Blazden in quite a while. They either retire, reintegrate into society through my own psionic abilities, or they dedicate the rest of their lives to the cause. And all that means.
So basically, if you're strong, you get to live, and if you're not, you get sacrificed to Duskradil.
A little bit of... Anyone who passes the program is strong. I don't want to take that away from them. But those that choose not to participate live the rest of their lives and whatever way they can. There are a handful here and there that are appointed to teaching positions for a time, knowing that once their term here was over, that they would join the rest. But we've been living on borrowed time for centuries.
So why us? Did you just run out of time? We were the best pick you had now?
He, takes a second. Is that what you want to hear, Lilibet?
Actually, yes, I would like to know why we've been put in this position. Why no one else at this school knows what's happening. Why you can't train everyone the same way and see who rises to the top. Why you decided we were the ones that had to do this.
I cannot tell you why you had to do this more than the ways that you've excelled. You walked in here as normal students. As any other aspiring adventurers with a glint in their eyes, hope in their hearts, and a positive outlook on the future that we all knew was doomed from the beginning. Call it fate, chance, or if you would, just a last resort. You stumbled your way into some conflict that we have been keeping successfully under wraps for years. Stumbled into individuals that have been specifically placed in positions that no one should be able to contact them. Now, I have reasons for each of you individually. Connections that I've learned through my times that have made you more likely to find yourselves on these paths. But as far as I'm concerned, you stumbled into this situation.
So, perhaps I missed something. Who all's decision was it to start sacrificing people? Was that yours, or was that all of the dragons? Or someone else?
If I remember correctly, it was Lunaris who was leading the charge. Being the closest with Duskradil and being able to sense her power, Lunaris made a play at our emotions, at our need for survival. Suggested that we modify the program. I was never fully on board, but I can't say that I said no.
Is that why they're after you now? Is that why you're hiding?
Yeah, who exactly is after you now? I just want to get that all straightened out.
Oh, I'm not quite positive on my assumptions, but I have a feeling I've been deemed ill fit for my role. I've always been too wishy-washy for the others. I've always had too much reliance on those around me. It's not a coincidence that Tridel and Borden, if you haven't figured that out by yet, the two other professors would be the two other dragons. It's no coincidence that they have envoys and personal appearances that have showed up at my academy. Maybe I've let too many things slide in my years. I've let too many leniencies happen, but the Divines are the ones who got us in this mess, so never made sense that we should be the ones that force our way out of it. Just there to help usher and do what we can.
So, what is Lunaris after? She wants to destroy all the fiends, and then she wants to sacrifice people. And she doesn't seem to have any qualms about the fact that you're the one paying the cost for something that they did.
I've wondered that myself for years. I don't know if it's fear, if it's anger, that her own brother would betray her, that subjects would turn against her or question her. I think there's something that you all need to understand. Divinities aren't born. They're crafted, created. Millennia ago, we discovered the shards. We discovered these fragments of power, of planar magic, for lack of a better scientific description. And we modified ourselves in order to take on this power, to connect with these shards. It may be hard to believe now, but I was once mortal. All of the gods were. People that walked along the earth, suffered disease, eat, slept, drank. Individuals that had their own goals and their own needs, that made a connection with power and declared themselves gods and lords. As generations passed and new gods were formed and created, and family lineages prevailed, I fear many of us have lost the intended goal. those shard bearers, those connected with the shards, were always supposed to be bastions of hope and leadership for the rest of society. We were supposed to innovate, to progress everyone forwards. We were supposed to be catalysts, not gods. But things change, I guess.
So, you said that... I don't remember exactly how you phrased it, but I believe you said that only mortals could kill Blazidon.
Specifically, individuals born to the mortal plane without a full connection to a planar shard. The oracles were murky in their language, and the text was quickly destroyed.
But, as you've just stated, all users of these shards were once mortal. So, why does a connection with a shard refute that ability?
Think about magnetics. You take two very powerful polarized magnets of the same direction, try to force them up against each other, and they purposely repel each other. The shards act in a very similar way in the way that their magic presents. It is a balancing act. 2 sets of 3.
So would that stop, say, Winnie and Axel from being able to stop him?
I'm not sure. Their connections are not fully realized, and at this point they have access to 2 planar shards each. No one in history has been able to genetically handle that ability. Trust me, it was tried. But you scrambled the genetics too far, and you just melt like putty. Axel, or more prominently known in the mythic side as the Wish Child, was the first. And then from our studies, it looks like a transfusion of his blood given to Winnie has lent her the same ability. I'm not sure how that will turn out. Okay, we're back. Hopefully with less technical difficulties at this point in time. Where we left off, Lily, Al, and Februm were all talking to Drax, or Aophik, about the real reason why Ravensight Academy and this whole world exists as it does. Drax had just taken Al's compass, the compass of divinity, to manipulate it and reconfigure it to track the additional shards once Al makes his way out of the city eventually. And Februm had just asked the question of what's the difference between a shard holder and someone who is connected to a shard. In which Drax was explaining that the connection to a shard is a very complex genetic process where a shard itself still holds a large modicum of power just by having it in your person. But it's theorized that if you bring all the shards together, you have the possibility of hitting a reset button on the world. Changing things to your own design. If you wish, or eliminating certain aspects. It's nothing that we were able to do in the old times. There was never any reason for it. Things were always going so well. Any other questions, thoughts? You have my full undivided attention for once.
Is the city gonna be okay? Are you gonna be okay?
I'm not sure. We'll have to let fate decide that one, unfortunately.
Is there anything you can give us to help? I assume it's going to be difficult to survive outside of the city walls.
Yes, there's a stockpile of sorts that I've been amassing. You know, we do fall into some stereotypes.
Oh my gosh.
You are more than welcome to select things from there. There's this, like, Drax's attention is drawn again. If there's time, it would seem.
Should we be doing something now?
Probably a good idea. We're gonna switch back over a quick second. Zephyr, you are thrown into the chair in your single room. A blade is brought to your throat. This angelic figure towers over you. How do you know about Blazidin? It's one thing to assault Her Majesty. It's another to bring up the taboo.
So for starters, we're making a lot of assumptions with assaulting. I've got no interest in Her Majesty.
You
Like I was
lunged at
trying
her,
to
that's
tell you.
enough.
I lunged for my friend. Now, if you
Who has been
listen instead
claimed.
of start swinging and choking, and maybe I would answer your questions, but this whole bad cop routine, that's not super good. I mean, I'm willing to talk. I wanted to talk. But I show up, and you're just taking my friends away.
Her lustriousness will do as she pleases, and you will be grateful for her presence. Is that understood?
So, you're telling me that I need to be grateful for essentially my goddess. That's a fair deal. Now explain something to me so I can make sure that I understand this correctly. I want to make sure that we're on the same page, sir. It's a goddess's job to protect her people. Is that correct? Or am I missing the mark here?
I feel like you're leading this in a certain way. In which ways are you not protected, mortal? Don't you have food in your belly?
Where the hell's my family?
What choices did they make?
Last time I checked, I can't speak for my parents, but last time I checked, my sister was working to whatever cause this whole thing is for. Frankly, I haven't been following that much. I'm not the sharpest crayon in the knife drawer. You know what? I'm not the brightest. But I've noticed that a lot of good people are dying trying to do what they're told. Now, if that's being protected, then maybe we're better off without it. Like I was trying to say earlier, I don't care about the goddess. I don't care about the world. I've been doing what is right. What I think is right. And all that's happened is I've had what I care about taken away from me. I don't really care anymore. You know? I don't care if I have to make the goddesses my enemy. I don't care if I have to make the world my enemy. But I'm not letting anyone else that I love get taken away from me. Especially not her. And
so,
if...
with
Yes?
no convictions and no meaningful contributions, it seems that you will not be missed. Goodbye,
Well, now you
whoever
see...
you
now,
are.
hold on.
As
I have
he
a feeling that I would be
raises the
missed,
great
but-
sword back and swings it towards your throat. It flies through the air. This radiant brilliance just flashes towards you. And then he disappears. Just... that angelic figure no longer is there. You kind of...
Is the other guy there?
You watch as this tall elven figure kind of like creeps forward. He's like, I am so sorry for that kerfluffle that's there.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, I lost my cool there too.
Oh, totally understandable.
That's-
Don't worry about it at all. It's
Look.
perfectly great. Now, I do need you to answer a couple of my questions. Now, I totally understand everything that you're going through. Kind of, sort of, maybe. But what do you know about the Wish Child exactly? Like, what's your connection there?
So, before I answer that, and I will answer that because you were being
I mean,
incredibly hostile.
give me a
and
minute
very-
first so he doesn't come back and chop your head off. But, like,
You know what? Totally fair.
beautiful.
I did kind of ask for that.
He just kind of turns over to the side.
He doesn't have a watch.
60 seconds. Okay, you're good.
Okay. before I do want to preface, just so we're on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
I had no intent of attacking Lunaris, Her Majesty.
Oh, you're sweet.
I. Okay, cool.
You wouldn't have
That's
gotten
no
far.
good.
It's okay.
No, I figured.
Mhm.
I just wanted to make sure you clear the air because he didn't believe me.
Yes, you're speaking a lot of words right now.
I am.
Usually pretty good. Time is very limited right now.
That's fair. You know what?
Um,
Okay. So, if you're not a bad guy, I'll gladly tell you.
You're a good guy, right? Okay, yeah.
I
I'll tell you.
guess. Yeah, I would be. I guess I'm a good guy. Maybe, kind of. I mean, I did have my own.
So, I guess Zephyr would have never have heard the name, so he's gonna say, "I have no idea who that is."
Who?
The Wish kid.
The red-haired one, the one that walked in with the
Oh.
girl that you were chasing
Oh.
after. I'm
Oh, my
assuming the love of
boy.
your life, but I don't want to make jumps and conclusions.
Well, I mean, me and Axel are kind of just friends, but
Oh, I mean, more power to you if you swing both ways.
uh.
No,
so,
not comma the love of your life, and the love of your life.
Okay.
You did say you were slow. I am so sorry. I will rephrase.
No, you're good. You're good. I kind of. A lot's been going on. It's a lot to process in this past like week or two. Lost my cool. Lost my family. Almost lost my friends.
I did.
You know.
Figure that out in the conversation.
Yeah.
My greater question is, do I need to just kind of keep you here? Or are...
I would rather not. See, my whole... Granted, that was probably my fault, slipping up and saying the B word. Probably shouldn't have
You
did
know
that.
what? I think we're good. I think we're great. You come with me. And you watch as he kind of, like, turns and, like, quickly starts to move out of the room.
Wait, now, hold on a second.
Come on.
Oh, cool, I'm not getting
This
left.
way. And he, like, zooms off to the side. Floating, instead of really walking.
See, this is what being nice gets you. Like, I like nice people, man. And he just walks along, I guess. He follows him.
Mm-hmm. You follow him down a couple of swirling hallways. And the rest of the group, minus Winnie, and Octavia, in this moment where Drax is like, we should probably be doing something, the door to the room suddenly just, like, explodes inwards. And, like, Zephyr peeks around the corner, with this tall, elven figure with starlight, just, like, kind of peeking into the room.
Lily, like, reaches to her waistband, like, where her needle would be, and she's like, is this the cool one, or is this the not cool one?
This is a cool one.
Drax kind of, like, smiles for the first time in, like, the last 20 minutes. He's like, I was wondering how long it was going to take you to get here. It's like, oh, well, you know me. I've got to, like, finagle around a little bit. It's been quite a while. He, like, scans the room. Lily, you notice his, like, as he scans over all of you, he stops for a second on you, but kind of, like, lingers and keeps moving.
Hey, sir, so, not to beat around the bush or keep talking, because I've realized I've done a lot of that,
Yes.
the whole reason that all that happened is I just want to make sure that they're okay. I was wholeheartedly about to just start begging for for you to just open the door, and even if you had to escort me in, like, I just want to make sure my friends are okay.
I suggest that we all go there now, because my hypothesis is things are not going well.
That's not good. Yep. You know what? And that's why I was hoping to get there. It's okay, guys. Octavia's there, so...
Where?
Oh god, we need to go.
The one non-magical person.
Oh god, we need to go.
Where are we going exactly?
Oh,
Hell, I don't know.
where Lunaris is, of course. Yes.
Okay, so...
And that's
Alright.
not the cafeteria.
Oh
No.
yeah, there's this big portal.
Oh, okay.
Winnie and Axel got taken in. I tried to get there in time, and I didn't go well.
And then that's
Um,
when this happened, I assume.
He looks down and
He's
realizes
like
he's bleeding. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
So
no
anyway, we
good.
should probably help them. Actually,
Can-
no,
can-
we need to help.
Can
them.
one of you two help him?
Drax.
I can do it.
She's referring to
No.
the powerful people
Oh,
who
yeah.
probably have infinitely more
Oh.
resources than you
Yeah.
two.
Oh,
Not that you
yeah,
can't.
Definitely them.
well, I guess that's.
Drax will reach over, and he will cast some kind of healing spell, because I'm sure he has a healing spell. And he will cast
The
it at a
other guy
high
has
enough.
healing spells too.
Yeah, no, but Drax has more magical ability right
It's fine.
now. And whatever spell he casts, it's of highest level to do all your hit points.
Sick.
He casts
Wonderful.
heal.
He
You're
casts
healed.
heal. You're healed.
Woo. So I'm not sure how long this front's gonna keep up before I start getting impatient. Can we please go?
Oh, yes, we should get going. You
Did
watch.
Drax finish with the compass, by the way?
Drax just finishes with the compass, hands it back to Al.
Oh, hey
Um,
Drax.
Oh, hello, Zephyr. Zephyr, you see Drax with these draconic claws, and the beginnings
man.
of scales creeping in at the sides of his face.
You get a haircut?
Oh, just a trim.
It looks nice.
Oh, thanks.
You should stick with it.
Um,
Also, love the whole dragon thing.
But you all turn around and watch as this elven figure begins to scribe runes across the wall, creating another gate of sorts. As he's scrawling and scratching out Lilibet, he kind of beckons to you.
You want me to go first, or?
Oh, no, I just wanted to say that it's just happy to see that you're doing okay. I mean, this isn't necessarily the form I'd thought you'd be in, but some things happen.
This is super awkward. How old are you?
Several millennia, I guess.
Yeah, so a bit old for me, thank you. Can we get going now?
Do you guys know
Oh.
each other?
Oh,
Sorry. I don't think you. I think you might be missing something, Lily.
What?
You watch as this figure gives
remember stuff of
Drax
this game.
a puzzled look.
We're
I
eccentric.
I believe he is implying that he knows you.
Well, that's funny, because I definitely don't know him.
As Urdusk is finishing his runic markings, let's finally go over to our ladies of the party.
Our ladies of chaos.
The ladies of chaos.
Ladies.
light washes over all of your eyes, and Octavia, you feel yourself pulled and pushed, kind of scooted around a corner. You bump into a wall as you feel yourself exit this teleportation and be forced elsewhere.
Okay.
As you blink your eyes and the light kind of dims, and all three of you find yourselves on the smaller lake in the shadow, the one that contains all of the chapels for the three goddesses. On Lunaris's island. But Octavia, you are kind of hidden behind a small temple that exists on this island, kind of tucked around to the corner. And as you kind of peer out, you see both Axel and Winnie standing in front of a beautifully crafted fountain with this large angelic being standing before them. Lunaris takes 2 steps forward, and then you watch as this demeanor drops from her. This effortlessness, this elegance
Oh god.
drops as she whips her head back around, the hair spinning around.
Fear.
She stares both at Axel and Winnie. And I was expecting to see one of you. The other one's quite the surprise.
Axel, which one do you think she's talking about? Like,
I don't know what you're talking about. Is this your one? Yeah.
I mean, this was a surprise for both of us, so honestly, I don't really know which is
Octavia,
less surprising.
I would like to prep something
Okay, what are you prepping?
so that I can use a reaction sometime in the future. To use my oh frick, what is my wonder whatever the fuck. I got magic
Wand
spell
of
random.
Wonder.
The wand of
Yeah.
wonder.
Wand of Wonder!
I wanna prep. I want to prep my. I want to
hate
prep
this so
use.
much.
I want to prep my wand of wonder to use as a reaction with a point of luck on there, please.
Okay.
With a side of luck.
With just a little.
You're making sure to hold it vertically, like
So-
don't you dare.
Yes, don't you dare before it's time. You know, just in hopes of like some maybe potentially rolling a banishment. Although I know it's totally random. But that would be really cool. So
Great.
just saying.
Okay. You kind of like prep that and have it at the ready. But Lunaris stares at like you, Winnie, of like you watch as she like quickly approaches you. Like, do you know how much trouble you've been causing down here?
How much trouble I've been causing? I feel like there's kind of trouble going on around me, per se. I don't know if I'm causing...
Whips down and grabs your arm and, like, pulls it up to reveal the incision with all of the spiraling lines.
Oof. There's that, yeah.
Tainted, like the rest of them.
Hey. I'm not tainted. I'm just a little funky.
Then what would you describe that?
Aw.
She,
Wait, sorry, what?
She's like, then what would you describe this as? Traitorous blood running through your veins.
Something I didn't ask for. An accident.
Fate,
Something I can't really
perhaps.
get rid of. Fate. Whatever the hell you want to call it.
I mean, if you
can
can't
call
get
it a
rid of it,
million
what
things.
worth are you? She, like, spirals over to the side.
My My worth is more than my blood. Thank you very much.
A naive statement from a being that has existed on this mortal plane for what? A couple decades?
I think it's pretty naive of a goddess who's been living for a very long time to
Hold
judge
your
someone based
tongue.
on their blood.
You watch your, like, voice is, like, ripped from you. You can speak later. She looks over at Axel. Now you're intriguing. I can't sense you. What are you? Well, I really think that depends on who you ask. Like, at this point,
I'm just like, they're like, honestly, we're buying time. That's what we're doing. We're buying time.
So, like, I don't really have an answer for you right now. Ugh, imbeciles. All of them. Well, I guess there's nothing that can be helped. Are you going to cooperate? She, like, you feel the air return to your lungs, Winnie.
Woo! Cooperate with what, exactly?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, you have two choices that have been laid in front of you. You can either return to the Celestial Plane, allow me to fix you, or you can die right here.
Oh.
You are abominations. Mixed blood. Things that shouldn't exist. I know Crookton was wild, but to fornicate with a mortal... Maybe I should take pointers from her. Seems like a fun thing to do every so often.
I don't know her well, but don't you talk about my mom that way.
Your mother has been nothing but disrespectful and disobedient since this whole thing began.
Maybe she's doing something right.
I know you would like to believe that, but you know so little of the world. Do you even know the power that you possess, the connections that you can make? Limitless potential. Let me give you a taste. She reaches out her hand.
Look, I don't know. I kind of just gave up on this whole connecting with deities thing.
Take
I don't know.
my hand. You reach out your hand and she grasps your forearm. It's one of those, like, you're reaching for her palm and she reaches farther, grasping your forearm. You feel limitless energy flow into you.
What the fuck?
You begin to understand and contemplate existence on a different scale than you've ever been able to comprehend. You see the divisions between planes of existence. You see the strands of magic. Things perfectly fall into place and make sense. You see the lines of the cosmos. Your knowledge expands in a moment, the past and the future. And just as you get, like, a taste, as you connect just slightly, she lets go. Now, doesn't that just make you want it more? all we have to do is remove that impurity.
So you just want to remove the blood from Blasden?
Any of that vile, fiendish essence, of course. Look at the world around you. She, like, spirals her hand outwards, her robes flowing behind her. This is the world that shard creates, that power manifests. Is this the world that people are supposed to live in?
Well, I mean, of course
Broken,
not.
decayed, running from disease.
No.
Don't you want to make it a better place?
It can't be that easy.
Oh, but with divinity it can. You felt it yourself. You feel Axel's hand grasp yours.
She grips his hand like a little lovey grip. Cousin bond. But yeah, she grips his hand and like is quiet for a moment before looking up at it's Lunaris, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Before looking up at Lunaris, she goes,
If that's the case, then why haven't you done it?
She turns away, like, scoffing. Like, even if you would ask that question. If everyone would just listen to what I had to say, it would already be done. Winifred, let me be frank with you. Your mother is old, decrepit, and outdated. It's far long since that she needed a successor.
And you're suggesting that I'm her successor?
She has birthed no other children.
I can't. I don't want this. I don't want whatever Blasden's trying to do, and I don't want to be a god. I don't want this.
What do you mean? You don't want limitless power. You don't want to do what you want. You don't want to help the people that are close to you?
I want to help the people the way I can. I'm not
This
going to
is how
become my
you
mother or
help
someone
them.
else.
You watch as, like, she's, like, taken back. I offer you limitless power. The ability to do whatever you want. And you choose to be mortal?
I think being mortal will make me more human than you could ever be. So, despite not having unlimited power, I have what I want and what I need. I have people that care about me. And I care about them. And we'll find our own way to stop the devouring. Thank you very much. What's so funny?
It's refreshing, you know? The youth. You see, age brings perspective. You'll get there one point. Maybe I'll check in 100 years. 1,000 years, perhaps, and we'll see if your mind has changed.
Won't be alive that long.
You sure?
Right? Look, she looks at Axel. She's like, right?
Winnie, you take this moment and you feel light on your feet.
I'm gonna look down.
It's more of a just like you're filled with more energy than you've
okay.
been filled with in a while. You know, it may not be completed yet, but my boons still have power.
So what? My choices are to either become a goddess in my mom's place or become a beacon of disaster for my uncle. I don't like either of those choices.
Oh, no. She, like, scowls. This is the first time that you've seen her, like, smile. Like, even through all of this, like, vicious speech, she's held this, like, pristine smile. But as soon as she begins to talk about Blazidin, it curls and curdles.
What?
Your uncle was never really an option. No. You can either become a goddess or you can walk this plane alone for eternity and watch all the people that you love and care about die around you over and over and over again, knowing that you probably could have done something about it. That you could have changed the way that this outcome happens. Winnie, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Ow, my ears. Octavia doesn't say that, but Julian does.
Oh, fuck. It was almost good. That's a 12.
Winnie, your vision blurs, and you begin to see people appear around you. You see Al, chopped in half, crawling towards you, his guts and entrails falling out behind him as he reaches out for you. Februm, on his, like, last leg, hobbling in your direction, just cuts, bruises. Half of his, like, rib cage is just pulled outwards. You see Lily, her face almost unrecognizable as what looks like porcelain has been chipped and ripped to the side, exposing inner working gears and weaver's work that has been holding her together all along. You see Octavia covered in water and seaweed, looking like something that has come out of the silent lake, drowned but continuing to move. And then you look back up, and you see Zephyr reaching out, holding your chin in his hand as blood begins to pool out of his mouth, dripping down his chest. You see a large dark sword pierced through his stomach.
Did I get donutted? teleporting is D Zephyr?
Winifred, is this the fates that you want? Is this what you want for those companions of yours?
Is Axel's? Do I still have Axel's hand?
You reach in this moment, and you can feel Axel still holding on to you, and there is this faint whisper, as if someone is trying to yell in a typhoon. Make another wisdom saving throw.
Okay, that's not 20. Let's go, 29, boys.
Hell yeah.
You're like close your eyes in this moment. You're thinking. You're focusing on yourself. You take a deep breath. And you open your eyes and you see that Axel has pressed his forehead up against yours. I'm right here, Winnie. You're not alone. You never were.
Aww.
We're here together.
She kind of keeps her eyes closed, but like, she like takes his hands and grips them, like showing that like she's listening to him.
Is it gone? I don't want to look at it anymore.
What will it take? As you feel yourselves...
I use my reaction!
Okay.
Let's go!
I'm gonna use my wand of wonder and
Where?
Yeah.
Okay.
I cast wand of wonder. I know I have to roll a D100. I rolled a
I gotta
2.
Oh.
But I just looked at it. That's slow. I cast slow on Lunaris.
Okay.
You did say a luck point, and this isn't technically how it works, but roll again.
Oh no! Shit. Okay,
Oh,
that's a
purple
91.
Both ends.
Purple.
Purple.
No.
Turn purple.
Turn her purple.
Make
Turn
it
her purple.
Make her
91
purple.
is gemstones.
Ah,
91 is
Make
a
it
burst
purple.
of colorful shimmering light extends.
Oh,
from you.
light.
Purple.
I think slow is probably the one you want.
I want to cast slow, please.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Imagining the Wand of Wonder even slower. So it's like,
Winnie
Do we
and
have context for people, or was this just all through DMs?
for what?
Yeah.
Anyone watching? It's like the little.
Oh, yeah.
We're not.
I wanted it to be like a nice gentle rain stick, and they're like, "No, what's funnier? Let him cook."
Audio listeners, I'm so sorry.
Audio listeners, love you to death.
I mean, if
Might
you
kill
can't
you with
tell
that
by
sound
this
effect.
sound, then you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to describe.
Aside from
So it's a low roll on the save, but it's still a 21.
Yeah.
As you watch as Lunaris was like motioning her hands to rip these two apart, you spin around and throw this magical energy, not knowing what's going to come out of this wand.
Yep, absolutely no idea. I'm probably moved down a block, took a step and was like,
And you watch the magic like impact, and there's this moment of like unawareness. You don't know what's going on, what's happened.
I like to think before it hits, you just hear boy. Like
Yeah.
as she cast it.
But then the figure in front of you disappears.
"Yeah, I'm nervous."
I did it.
Um,
She opens her eyes and she looks over
Do-
because she
do I-
heard it, and she's like,
Tavia, what in the hell?
She just has a moment to be like, "You two need to get out of here,
Winnie,
like
you
right
look-
now."
You look at Octavia as she like motions to get out, and you see a hand come up behind her and grab her head and just reach her up into the air. As Octavia, you feel your body go limp as you are held by your head by this massive hand.
By the scruff.
Not again.
Not the scruff.
As Lunaris, quickly teleporting behind Octavia, walks back around from the chapel, holding her out. It would seem we had a visitor of sorts. Oh, look at that. She, like, turns your head to, like, look at her.
Oh, joy.
Oh, another lost soul. Just ready for me to put straight.
Put her down now.
Octavia, she makes eye contact with you. Worship me. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Fuck.
Man.
Command worship. That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Well, that's a nat 20.
Oh,
but
for a total
For a
of?
total.
For a total of 21.
All right. So
Not
nat
good
20
enough,
rules.
really.
It's not
So how tall is
you
she?
you do fail on the save, but nat 20
Okay.
rules. You feel your essence, your sense of self, your personality begin to pull itself away from your body. The
Uh-oh.
repeating thought comes into your head of, by her light we're all cleansed.
Ew.
And it's
Ew.
rippling in the back of your head, and you're doing your best to stave it off, but Winnie and Axel see Octavia pointed towards Lunaris, and Lunaris is just basking as you watch this faint, glimmering essence begin to come off of Octavia, heading in her direction.
Ew.
Oh no. I don't know what to do.
Like her
Like, what do
hands
you wanna
are
do?
like, as her hands are there, they're just like, you can almost see like that's the one moment of her like defiance is her hands are like, just
Does this technically count as a charm?
Maybe? What do you
Is
want
she
to do?
getting charmed to worship?
What do you want to do? What do you want to do, Winnie?
I wanna. Okay, I know this says self, but I want to know if I can reach out, and I guess kind of like use my little my little flight ability, high jump ability. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
And I wanna reach and like go and try to like touch Octavia, and when I do, I wanna cast dispel evil and good and break an enchantment.
Yeah. That's the right one.
Yeah?
Yay!
Okay, what do you have to roll for that?
I think
you
just a d20. I don't know.
Okay, let me look it up. I'm like, this is definitely like...
Cause it's got like a hit DC on it, so like I'm assuming.
I think you just have to hit her AC.
Oh
Lunaris
no!
No,
Lunaris
Oh,
is?
no.
Or
No, there's a banishment effect, and then there's like a cleansing
Dismissal,
effect.
and there's breaking enchantment. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, fuck action economy. Anyway, but you cast a spell, and you you fly up into the air, just constantly surrounded by this dim light, grabbing onto Octavia. How are you doing this? Like, where are you like making contact with Octavia?
I'm assuming she's like, since she's, how high is she being held up? Because I'm trying to think realistically.
10 feet in the air.
Even with 10
This is
feet
like
in the air.
Lunaris is 10 to 15 feet tall, somewhere in between there, and holding Octavia like out, like curved around so that she can see her face, and just kind of like her eyes are closed, and she's basking in this aura that seems to be slightly being pulled from Octavia. You can see it fighting back, and with Octavia's twitching, like every twitch of her hand is pulling this aura back into herself, but it seems like Lunaris is winning.
Oh shit. Question.
What's up?
Do I have my bag of holding with me? Like, would I have my stuff?
Absolutely. You have everything except your holy symbol and
and the shard,
shard.
both of which I left under my
both
pillow.
of which you purposely left in your bedroom.
I feel like that was a good decision in a weird way, though. Also, second question. Before I say this, is there any dim light here, or is it? I mean, like, because we're just in another. Like, she's not making it brighter,
outside.
right? Like, we're just outside.
You're just
right?
outside.
Wait
so
up outside.
Okay.
Constant dim light.
Cool. I just wanted to make sure I could use Steps of Night.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
of course.
yeah. All right, so she's gonna, like, she notices this, and she opens up her bag of holding and whistles, does one of those, like, kind of whistles that I can't do.
Yep.
And she's gonna, like, take a few, like, steps, like, running and, like, push off the ground and use her Steps of Night. She's gonna fly up and kind of like how she did with Duskradil a while back when they were fighting her, and how her and Lily did it.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna raise Octavia's, like, hand, like, her whole free hand, and, like, do this.
Like,
And
the
then-
sickest of high fives.
The sickest of high fives. And grab her broom, flies out of the bag, and she grabs onto the broom and reaches out and keeps holding onto Octavia's hand.
Yeah. As
Yeah.
you graze Octavia's hand, there is this burst. Winnie, I know that you've always had either a purple or a red aura, but what's Winnie's aura? What's your color?
I like to think, like, when I first made Winnie, even now, her, like, school bow is that pretty, like, blue color, that, like, lightish blue. It's
The
that
color of Zephyr's skin.
It's like that, and with a gold shimmer in it. If that
It's
makes
right
sense.
in between purple and red.
Like, if you, like, put it against the light
Yeah.
and do this, it's like,
And it's
sparkly,
also the
you know what I
color
mean?
of Zephyr.
it is a color.
It kind of is.
Kind of. But yeah, it's that.
I'm looking
That
at a
color.
drawing of them right now. It is Zephyr's skin color.
Winnie, you tap Octavia's hand, and there is a light blue pulse of energy that
Yeah.
radiates off of Octavia. Octavia, you catch your breath in a moment, and you begin to fall as you feel yourself caught by Winnie and kind of swept over to the side. The two of you tumble for a second before catching back up to your feet as Lunaris is pushed back. And you watch her and, like, look at her hand in bewilderment.
When they stumble and get back up, she's like, "Yeah,
Octavia
Octavia,
kinda
oh my
looks at
god,
Like full on girl power, like high five moment.
oh my
She's
god,
like,
that was so cool."
Thank you.
Did
That
you
was
see that?
terrifying. I did that. Well, I really didn't, but I felt it. I felt
This
it,
is the
and I
first time that Winnie has
appreciate
had
it.
the "oh my god, that was so cool" and then bleh, since before she died / with her brother. She has not had this in a long time.
Yeah. Octavia's like,
And then I
I
touched her
felt
hand.
it. I
was
felt
like,
it.
"What?"
It was very
And then
nice.
it cut off
We
the-
should probably step back. I'm very concerned about what this goddess is about
Yeah,
to do.
no, you should
because-
get
yeah, we
away.
should-
You should
no,
go away.
I think all three of us need to, like, go because this is
That's all?
very bad. Yeah.
Come on,
Lunaris,
come here.
Lunaris looks over to you.
Uh-oh.
And she's no longer upset. She is
Oh.
intrigued.
Oh boy.
You watch the expression of a highly intelligent individual that has just found their next research subject.
Oh joy,
no,
not
not
again.
Oh,
no, I'm so done with being an experiment.
That's so unfortunate.
Look over in your direction and... Interesting.
She stands in front of Octavia, thinking she's looking at Octavia.
Yeah, Octavia is just going. Okay. This is. Octavia stands like tall, and she just kind of stares Lunaris down, and she's just like. No goddess that I would find fair or fouler than that of the one who imposes her will upon her subjects.
So glad that that power wasn't divined to you, then.
I think it's something you don't deserve.
And
We'll
that was
see.
the part where we killed them.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
standing in front of her.
This has pissed Octavia off. Like, I don't think
Yeah.
y'all realize, but she's like, you poofed my cat.
You pooped my cat. You tried to take away my personality.
Well,
What the hell?
this has all been so exciting and exhilarating, but I think it's time, Winifred, Axel, I think it's time the two of you join me.
What?
And travel back to the Celestial Realm. We have much work to do and things to figure out.
What?
Like hell they will.
I want to do something so bad when we get there.
I don't think they have much of a choice. She, like, glances over to Octavia. Don't think the blood of a minor deity gives you the credit to speak in this conversation.
Was that not only classism that I hear, but racism as well? Let's stop filing a list of sins. Classism, racism, being a bitch,
Itchism.
bitchism. Yeah, legitimately, she'll be like, Lily would say it,
I
bitchism.
will enjoy tearing you apart.
No.
No, you won't. That's not. No.
No.
You watch as, like, Lunaris licks her lips. And I need Octavia and Winnie to make a perception check.
Oh, no.
yeah, okay.
Oh, wait, I'm good at that.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, no.
You said perception.
Perception.
That's a 24.
19.
Oh.
Rolled a 19, so I got a
Um,
24.
A +9, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. As Lunaris licks her lips, there is this faint red glow that goes across her eyes. Just slightly scarlet in a way. Not quite a crimson, but a ruby, perhaps.
Octavia just kind of looks at her, and then her eyes, her eyes slide over to Winnie, and she's like, "Methinks the lady is a victim of what she claims to detest." Huh.
It's a blood moon.
Is Axel near us? Or is he like
Please
away?
let us like be huddled with Axel.
Yeah,
'cause,
no, I think
like,
Axel has, like, run over to you.
good.
We'll
good.
say that. So the three of you are,
Oc-
like, all together.
Did he
Octavia,
notice
like-
it too?
Oh, he rolled a natural 19 plus his perception.
Yeah, we're all
Nice.
like,
We're all like, that's not good. That's definitely I think we're experiencing a very Duskadil situation right now.
Do I gotta do it again?
I am not my sister.
And I'm not my mother.
We shall see.
Um,
She, like, reaches behind herself, and you watch this glittering sword
neat.
pull itself out of the ether, formed of starlight and radiance itself. The blade is stone, formed of what you can only expect is moonstone.
Pretty.
She
Scary.
drops it to her side. Now, will you come willingly? Or do I have to take you in by force?
Octavia, you should seriously go. I don't want you getting hurt. Or the others, for that matter. They didn't follow you, did they?
Oh, my
They
dear
didn't
Winnie,
here, right?
it's only a matter of time before they get here.
But, they're not, right?
Love.
The rest
And-
of you...
Oh, no!
No, I want my moment.
I've been waiting.
No, okay. Winnie and Octavia, finish your conversation.
Yeah. I just want Octavia to look at Winnie, and she's like, "Oh, love, they left you behind once, and most of them, no, all of us swore that it would never happen again. So
Hey.
I think you'd have to try very hard."
A gate opens
Press.
up behind you as Octavia finishes her sentence. The rest of you, standing in this subtle little room with Drax and this elvish figure,
Hey,
turn
no.
turn around and see as the elven figure turns around to the rest of the group. Well, it's now or never.
Can I cast a spell?
Sure.
Yay!
He
At
says, it's
fourth
now or now.
level,
Oh, he chose now.
He chose now.
Just without hesitation, flying past everyone right at Lunaris is Rolathim's psychic lance.
Just do it far away.
He has to
attack
make an
far away.
intelligence save.
He didn't jump. It was a spell.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
okay.
120 feet.
Oh, good. I thought you went up to her. I was like,
No.
no.
Not again.
It's like, don't do that.
Hiya.
What's the DC?
Hiya.
Oh, it's low. It's 14, but she takes
Ah.
damage regardless.
Can she fail?
I don't think she can.
Oh, shit.
That's fine. She takes damage.
Damn.
regardless, even if
Shy
it's a little.
dog.
So Zephyr is the first out of the portal. As Octavia finishes this sentence, you watch Zephyr, his hair kind of spiking back up. The wind catching it back up as he has a motivation, progress forwards. And you see him reach out, the iPod in his hand, as he whips it forwards. And you see this distortion of energy fly through the air towards Lunaris.
I just imagine he goes, "You!" and it just stabs her.
You. That is funny. I like that.
Supermancer.
Oh my god.
It ain't a true bard if it isn't somewhat of a meme.
Valid.
Half of 29. So not a lot, but a
14.
little.
14, you round down.
14 psychic damage.
It's psychic damage.
It is.
Half it
Probably not.
again.
Oh,
That's
no,
fine.
you're.
That's fine. It still does damage.
That's,
Mhm.
it's
And
still
that's the
something.
point that I'm trying to make.
You
is that
watch
she
like
can be hurt.
Lunaris tilts her head to the side as the rest of your party filters in. The gate kind of closes behind you.
And then Zephyr looks her dead in the eyes and goes, "I think it's time we blow out this candle of the night."
You're welcome to try, but I think you're going to find that quite difficult. Oh, Aophik. So lovely to see you. It's been such a long time. Oh, yes, it's been quite a while, Lars. I haven't been avoiding you at all. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, it's been fantastic. Oh, I think you have some friends that have been meaning to say hello. And you watch Lunaris whip her hand around
No.
as two massive, swirls of energy appear about 100 feet out. As you watch two gargantuan creatures drop into this water. The pond that is around, the water shifts and moves forwards. You see a ancient silver and an ancient blue dragon both in their full forms, their wings outstretched, crouching forwards. Tridel speaks first. Aophic, this has been a long time coming. Thank you for showing your presence once again. What are you saying?
She's got the devouring. She's infected.
Ayo, what?
It's in her eyes.
Borden speaks in next. Aophic, you know this is best for everyone. Just stand down. Hand over the shard. Aophic, still in his Drax form, looks at the party, looks at everyone. You know? Maybe it is time.
Rex, you can't.
I don't think that, maybe it's not.
Well, like, it
No.
sounds like the sentence isn't completed, so if you're gonna say
Please.
something really cool, now would be the time.
Tridel is like, yes, it is time. Your tactics are old. They are old tactics. We should try again. It's been so long. We have the power
Please.
to do something, to change the world. And Drax just stares at your group. And he slowly walks over. Who would he... Oh god, it's gotta be Lily, doesn't it? He walks over to Lily, and you watch as he takes his crystalline claw and plunges it into his own chest.
Oh,
It
that's not where I thought that was going.
grips onto something as he turns and pulls it out, and you see this pure white shard of energy as the wound closes up behind it. You see, I already have made my choice. As he gestures over to hand the shard to Lily.
Her eyes go like wide, like, am I gonna like blow up if I grab that?
Oh, like,
Not gonna blow up.
I'm pretty sure you shouldn't, but like, I would be a little careful.
Zephyr takes a
It's
step back.
very volatile.
She like leans a little bit back and reaches for it.
You reach for it, and it just kind of lightly floats to you. It's cold, but in a comforting way. It just bobs around you, and as soon as Aophic lets go of it, Tridel screams out, "No! That is our shard. That is for our purposes. How dare you give that to a mortal?" This
Can I shoot her?
cold energy radiates out from around her. Are you shooting her?
No.
Zephyr, give them a moment to be cinematic.
Fair enough. Okay. Lily saw Zephyr like pulling the gun out of his ring
Well, yeah.
Fair enough.
and like loading it.
It's like,
Aophic
aw.
Aophic turns around to the other two dragons and begins to take a couple steps forwards. I have played the neutral party for far too long. It is time that I finally stand for something. As each step he takes, you watch his form increase. He grows in size. The crystals begin to puncture out of his skin. His flesh is turned into scaled armor as he comes to his full ancient amethyst dragon size. standing in front of the other two, just slightly bigger than them. And he looks over. Would you mind handing me some assistance, Erdusk? I feel like I might need you. Erdusk looks up and is like, well, I will absolutely try my best. Good luck with your thing, everyone. We're gonna be over here.
Wait, are we not joining
What?
it? I was ready to
No,
throw some hands.
we're gonna fight
think they're
Lunaris.
dealing
They're
with-
gonna fight the
Okay.
dragons.
Yeah. Because we
Gotcha.
can't fight. I don't think we can fight any of them, but we can.
We
try
can
one.
certainly try the one in front of us.
As Erdusk says this, you watch both Tridel and Borden, both of their breath attacks come at them at the same time. And Erdusk throws his hands up in the air, and you watch a wall of indistinguishable color, just countless different spectrums fly up around it as the breath attacks just skate over the wall that he has created. He looks back. Good luck.
You too.
As Aophik flaps his wings, jumping into battle, flying over the wall, kind of takes a claw down on Tridel. Your party has a second to turn around and look as Lunaris raises her sword. Then it shall be. And unfortunately, I think that's where we're going to end for tonight.
Oh,
I knew it. Also, that was so good.
I have a raw combat start one-liner though.
So,
Save it.
we are going to get into this combat at the beginning of next session. That's where we're going to start. But I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. I hope everyone had an amazing time.
I know we did.
Lots of stuff is happening. Lots of stuff is going on.
So much lore.
So much lore.
I love the lore.
You see, this is what happens when the party just gets involved with everything.
Oh, yum yum lore.
Give me good
lore.
Thank
Give
you.
me lore.
This is why splitting the party's fun.
But yeah, that's gonna be the end of us for tonight. We have a very exciting next session that is already in the works, is already planned. We are gonna get there next week. But you're just gonna have to wait for that excitement just a little bit longer. So, Julia?
Drink your water. Last time I cut out, this is Buble. I cut out and I said, this is boob. And then my everything froze. I love that guy.
Yeah.
Drink your water. It's very good for you. Even if it's sparkling, it's how you intake liquid and it's how your body recovers and heals. So drink water. Okay, cool.
Dane, anything from you?
Yes. YouTube, subscribe. Twitter, follow. Discord, join. Spotify is coming really soon. We're almost done with the thumbnail. Once we get the art done for it, I'll start editing and throwing that together. Those will come out a little bit slower than our YouTube VODs. Because they're going to be edited a little bit. They're going to be cleaned up just a tad. But they're coming. And the more people that like and share and do all the stuff that every influencer tells you to do, the better, because then we can keep doing this and having fun, and then it'll just bigger and better things on the horizon.
Beautiful,
Very
beautiful. One more thing. I was debating on whether or not to do this before or after, but I think it's going to be more fun if we do it before. I want everyone to level up before the fight.
Yay!
Yeah. So I want
Big move.
Yeah, I want everyone to level up to 11.
Oh, buddy.
Before this fight, as you are feeling empowered, your group is together, and you are ready to face anything that this world puts in front of you.
Oh, I'm so ready.
Freaking shard.
Good.
But with that, you're just gonna have to wait till next week to figure all that
that's a
stuff
D20
out. So, have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.